with any virtual questions. For the in-person folks, please wait until the microphone is handed to you to ask your question. For the virtual folks, please use the hand raise function and wait to be unmuted. Please be sure to state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. First, we have senior guard Zibby Broughton and sophomore guard Nina Ricards. We'll open things up for questions now. Starting in the front.
Pat Eatonrob from the Associated Press. Welcome. Can you guys just, both of you, discuss how the team has been since the injury to Kiara, what the attitude is going into the tournament, and how do you make up for that loss?
So I could personally say it's a lot of us stepping into roles that we once didn't have before. So everyone now has to play a different role. We have to bring more. Kiki led us in a lot of categories, but us as a team, we know that we can have each other's back, and we'll just bring, the best of our ability of whatever that role is tomorrow.
As Zippy said, I think everybody is missing Kiki, but we definitely do prepare and make sure everybody's confident in the role that they have to play, whatever that is. I think we've been preparing really well, and I believe in my teammates, and I know Kiki believes in us that we can make things happen.
Hey guys, Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. But for both of you, the NCAA tournament sure seemed a long way away, back when the season started. Now the last few days, knowing that it's here, just kind of what's the mood been like within the team to get ready for this?
The mood, I can say excited, ready just to hoop. You start off the season and all the nicks and bruises, this is what you practice for. This is what you play for. If you're not doing it for anything else, then why are you here? So for us to finally have, this opportunity to be here from all that we've been through this season is great. I'm ready to have fun, honestly.
Also, as Zippy said, I think everybody's really excited. In the beginning of the season, we all wrote down a goal we wanted to accomplish, and it was to make the tournament. So now that it's here, we're excited to be here. We're grateful for this opportunity, and we just can't wait to play.
Megan, also with Florida. Nina, getting to play so close to home, I know you have a big group coming to support you tomorrow. How nice is that? Again, you've made it here, and now you get to play in front of your people.
It's really exciting. I have about 16 people coming, so if you guys see or hear some New Yorkers in the crowd, they're for me. They'll make it known. But just being able to play for the people I'm playing for, which is my family, is an awesome opportunity, and I can't wait to make them proud.
So your campus is about 126 miles from UCF's campus, and you traveled 1,000 miles to play them for the first time in 6 years. Can you just talk about what it's like to have an in-state game up here in Connecticut, and what it means in terms of the spotlight on women's basketball in the state of Florida?
I guess they wanted a challenge to see who's the best team in Florida, so we're going to give them a show. As you can see, there's a lot of teams from Florida playing in this tournament, so that means something really big in basketball there. So we're just excited to be here. Like we said, wherever we had to go, we were going to show up, and that's what we're doing.
She said it.
Just from a matchup standpoint, obviously you didn't play UCF, but Kelly was saying the other day, they're a quick team, up-tempo. What have you guys seen as players that you're going to have to deal with in that matchup?
To deal with. I know from my standpoint, I like to focus on us, not to disregard anything that UCF is doing, but, especially with me being the point guard now, since Kiki is out, how can I best, execute the plays? How can I best orchestrate the team? So we here to hoop, man. Whatever matchup is necessary, we just here to hoop. So, yeah.
I think Zippy answered that question well.
So you mentioned it a little bit about seeing who's the best team in Florida. You guys are, as a program, I don't know if you know the history between the two schools, but you've never lost to UCF, 25-0. How important is it to keep that run alive? And is there a rivalry? You guys are obviously not in the same conference. USF is more of their rivals than you guys, but is there kind of a rivalry, especially among the 6 teams from Florida that are in this tournament?
I truthfully do not know. It's my first year in Florida, so I necessarily don't know the history of the rivalries. But I can say I've seen that, Florida Gators are undefeated in the UCF and Florida rivalry. But just like any other game, we're going to go out with the expectation to win. So it's no different from any other game. Agree.
All right, awesome. Any other questions? All right, thank you both. Good luck.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, up next, we'll be hearing from Florida head coach Kelly Ray Finley. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Can you get us started with some opening remarks, and then we'll open it up for questions from the media?
Yeah, of course. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a tremendous opportunity for our team and for our program. We're excited to be in stores. The history and the tradition is great. And like Nina said, when we started this season, we started out on a journey to be the best that we could be, achieve our potential together, continue to grow in hopes of making the tournament. And we're a group of competitors. We're not into consolation prizes, excuses, or handouts. And I think we've earned this opportunity together. So it's a tremendous opportunity for us, and we're excited to be here.
Awesome. We'll start with questions up front.
Pat Edenroth from the Associated Press. Can you talk about the challenge of playing this game without Kiki? And obviously there had to be some lows emotionally for the team when she went down, and then the highs of making the tournament. And how do you get your team prepared without their star for a moment like this?
Yeah, we will miss Kiki on the floor. There's no doubt about that. But we prepare like we prepare every single day. We have a tremendous group of student athletes who strive to be their best in whatever role is required of them every single day. And that's what makes this team unique and really, really special. You don't always get that. And I know that Kiki is extremely confident in the preparation of her teammates. I think she's excited to be here too. Everybody's acting like she's very much a part of this team and has a tremendous influence on everybody and an impact. And one thing that makes her so special is her selflessness and her desire to want to win and uplift the people around her. And so, you'll see if you come to practice today, her encouraging, uplifting, seeing different things, different reads on the floor. But, we'll miss her on the court, but we know that we're prepared.
Hey, Kelly Ray, just from talking to Zippy there, she just said we're ready to hoop. What does that look like in your eyes? I mean, what's it been like, the preparation leading up to this?
Oh, it's been awesome. I think that, we have a group of competitors. UCF's style of basketball is a little bit different than what we've faced, but we feel prepared, we feel confident, and we're going to go out there and have fun. So when she says we want to go hoop, that's what we do. We talked yesterday, players make plays. Coaches coach, but the greatest coaches have the greatest players. And I think we have a tremendous group of young players, and I'm excited to see what they do on the court tomorrow.
Kelly, being the first time for so many of these athletes to play in the NCAA tournament, again, it's a goal, it's a dream, it's what everyone in this position wants to be besides Zippy, who's already played. How do you see that excitement level that they've brought into stores and playing at a place like they're playing at?
Yeah, for sure. And we want to have joy. That's what we've wanted to do all season. Today, tomorrow is no different than anything that we've done over the course of the last 6 months. And when you prepare relentlessly, we can't let this be bigger than the moment or bigger than the game. When the ball tips, we'll lock in between those 4 lines like we do every night we play, and embrace the moment and enjoy each other. It's fun to compete with this group, the way they look at each other, the way they feed off of each other. they're just fun to coach, and they're fun to be around, and that's what we see every day.
Just want to ask you a question about Nina, because you talked a little bit about how Zippy fits in without Kiki. Like, what's Nina doing right now to help this team, and how far has she come along this year?
She's come a long ways, and I think with that, it's not to take anything away from her, but everybody has. Everybody has in their own way, in their own right. And again, not to be redundant, but what makes coaching this team so special is their ability to understand their role, embrace it, see where their advantages lie, and know that if that's what the game calls for in that moment, that they're ready to step up and they're prepared. You don't always get that, Scott. And Nina is a tremendous competitor. We were talking on the way here about playing at Dyckman, a park up in New York City. And she shines in big moments. She always has. That's who she is. But you know what makes Nina special is she's willing to embrace whatever's asked of her. If the game calls for her to defend the other team's best player, best scorer, she'll do it. Some games this year, she didn't score any points, but she had a tremendous role on the floor. Some games, she got in early foul trouble and had to sit on the bench. And empowering and encouraging her teammate, it was like a tag-in, right? A tag-in, knowing that together we're better than we are as individuals. And she embraces that mentality every single day, and because of that, we're a much better team.
Can you talk a little bit about what it means to be playing a rival, in-state rival up here tomorrow? And obviously 6 teams from Florida. Everybody knows what Jose has done at USF. And can you address a little bit about what Coach Abe has done at UCF and even Florida Gulf Coast? Last time I checked, they were leading Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Just the basketball in Florida and the spotlight that this game shines on women's basketball in Florida.
Yeah, it's been it's really cool, and it's very encouraging for the state of Florida and women's basketball as a whole to have so many teams in the tournament and competing at such a high level. I think it speaks to the talent, to the level of coaching, to the recruiting, to the area, all of those things. And Coach Abe has done a tremendous job at UCF. She's a very talented basketball coach and a tremendous person. And like Nina and Zippy said, you know, I don't know, I'm not big into rivalries, honestly. I don't know much about that. I grew up in Minnesota, but to be a Florida Gator is a tremendous honor. And it should be treated as such. And within that, we respect all of our opponents. You know, Central Florida is an extremely talented team. They're athletic. They pose a lot of challenges for their opponents. That's why they've won a lot of games this year. And so, yes, Coach Abe is a tremendous coach, and the state of Florida is shining and growing as a women's basketball state as a whole.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Can you address, with fans back this year, and you're in this venue where you walk into Gamble Pavilion and there's 11 championship banners hanging in the rafters and names on the wall that I assume all your players watched growing up. So how do you balance with them the business trip versus the first time that people have been able to have fun at this tournament in a couple years, and having them embrace kind of that at the same time?
Yeah, it's a great thought and a great question. Thanks for asking that. I think that everywhere we've been this season, you know, when we started this season, you might not know this, but we set out to create a great experience. And I think we've done that. A great experience for our coaching staff, a great experience for our university, great experience for each other. And so it's no different, it's not disrespect than anywhere else we've been. Everywhere we've been, we want to enjoy the scenery, we want to enjoy each other, we want to play basketball, and like Zippy said, we want to hoop. and we're going to do that with the same approach no matter where we are.
And finally, can you address, behind you, the March Madness sign? It's something the women's tournament hasn't been able to use for some reason before this year, and the idea of equity and the changes that they say are coming. what have you seen? Is there any difference? Was it easier to get up here? Or are they doing more for you? Do you expect that to come later? And what changes still need to happen in the next couple of years to make women's basketball equitable with the men's tournament?
Yeah, because we haven't been to the tournament in quite some time, I can't speak to that. But I do think that it's incredibly encouraging to have the same March Madness. To us as basketball players, it's always been March Madness. And so, that's something that I don't know, how many, if you ask our student athletes, they'll be like, yeah, it's March Madness. Like, that's what we do. It's the time of year, And, I think that we've seen a tremendous amount of growth. And I think that as the game continues to grow, so will we with, equality and making sure that, things are fair, that we do the next right thing. And I think that if that's our focus, we're going to have tremendous growth in our sport.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank
Good
you.
luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Good job, Coach. Thank you.